This is my week 1 match versus David and the Victoria Victinis for the Hive Beedrill League. I'm going to jump into the team I brought and I'll go over some of the sets. So I started off with Mega Pidgeot, obviously Pidgeotite, no guard, U-turn, Roost, Hurricane, Workup, 168 speed with Timid Nature, Sped Crept, Gengar, Max, obviously Max special attack, and then this probably should have been put in HP, but it doesn't matter. Next up, I brought Choice Scarf Victini, uh, enough speed to outspeed max speed, non-timid or non-boosting nature, Kieran Black. If I tricked away the Choice Scarf, his Be Great U-turn, trick Zen Headbutt. Um, I will say this. More than likely, I shouldn't have brought Zen Headbutt because it should have been just another fire move. I struggled to put on other coverage, and I really didn't know what to put there, so I put Zen Headbutt because I figured it'd be decent. But I probably should have just put another fire move over this because he doesn't have really any fire resists, or good ones at least. So, and this does sort of come up because he has his aura work, and I figured late in the game, obviously, I don't want to have to be forced to click V create because it can lower my speed. I can lose, but also uh, I can't lock myself. So obviously the speed. If I click V create, I lock myself in and I lose speed. And obviously, if I click Zen Headbutt, I can't deal with everything because I'll lose because I couldn't hit it. That's pretty cringe. Fucking hell. Fucking up. But yeah. Next up, I brought the Excadrill Sandrush Rockium Z for Continental Crush, Max Attack Adamant. This speed investment plus Sand allows me to outspeed his fastest mon Scarf, which is Gengar. That's what that's for. And then Earthquake, Rapspin, Ironhead, Rock Slide. I figured with damage on some of his stuff, Rockium Z would allow me to kill something and just be able to sweep with this. Smooth Rock, Sandstream, so I get 8 turns of sand from the thing. Stealth Rock's Toxic, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Max HP 192 in Spidef with Careful, and then Summon Defense. Pretty simple. I brought Oliver Queen, the Decidui. I brought Colberberry, Roost, U-turn, Spirit Shackle, and Haze. Then I brought 240 HP, 96 defense, and then 172 careful. Probably should have changed this and put more in defense, but I didn't. So there's that. And then this is completely Bronson's idea for this set. Originally I had Muckalola with an Assault Vest here, and he brought up Scarf Primarina as an idea that because he didn't have a Fairy Switch in, really. So this was a really good set. So Choice Scarf, Moonblast, Scald, Hidden Power Poison for Tapu Bulu and Hydro Pump. And then Speed Investment, it's Speed Creeps, Gengar obviously, and then Max Special Attack. So there's the team. So turn 1, I look at his team. I felt it was pretty safe to just lead Victini. And he goes and leads off with Tapu Bulu. It's pretty much just a safe U-turn. I figured he'd switch into Kieran Black, as it's really the only thing that could take a hit or really switch into Victini that doesn't just straight up die to it. I get a crit. It's whatever. It does 20%. I go into Primarina here. Obviously, he heals leftovers, and then Grassy Terrain also heals him back up. I stay in and go for Moonblast. I get a special attack drop, which doesn't really matter. But it doesn't kill. I didn't do a calc or anything on it, but yeah, gets close to it. He fusion bolts. That takes me down to 96, but obviously Grass Drain's gonna bring me up, but it's not gonna matter because basically it's dead at this point. So I stay in and go for another Moonblast, and it does 42%. I get the special attack drop, which is actually really crucial here because in a second I decide to switch into Gigalith, and he goes for Thunderbolt here, and while he's calking, he thinks that since it does 12%, he thinks that I'm Assault Vest, but he doesn't factor in this special attack drop. So it's super important because he has Taunt on this Gengar, and so him thinking that I'm Assault Vest allows me to go for Rocks, because he goes for Will-O-Wisp here over Taunt, as I go for Rocks. He thought I was Assault Vest because he completely did not factor in the special attack drop while he was calking. So I get up Rocks for free, which means that Kyurem Black is going to die to Rocks on switching because he can't get rid of them. It's also going to break the Sash on Zoroark and Bulu. And I stay in here as he goes for Shadow Ball. And I go for Toxic. I went for Toxic thinking he would switch to Electros, or even switch to Lando or Bulu. I figured, like, I'm burned. I can't really touch him. So I figured he'd switch, but he doesn't. He stays in and goes for Shadow Ball. So at this point, I switch into Primarina to sack it, because I wanted to get a free switch into something else. Also, it was good if he switched, because I can get like a Moonblast off or something, because I was Scarfed, or like a Scald. I go into Victini, he just sacks off his Kyurem Black, because it was going to die to Rocks. I click V-Create. And here is an interesting turn. So he goes into Landorus, and so Landorus could obviously be Zoroark at this point. I don't know. But I actually go for V-Create originally, and I click V-Create here, and I think, like, okay, what if he's Scarf, or what if he is Zoroark? So I decide, like, you know what, I'm just gonna switch and make a play, and I'm just gonna play it safe and go into Decidueye instead of just going for V-Create, which V-Create would kill this. So I just switch, and he is Lando, and he goes for Rock Polish. So that sucks, because this can basically just sweep my team. He goes for Swords Dance, but I have Haze, so I go for that here. I don't want to get swept, so obviously he's Dual Dance. He goes for Stone Edge here, he misses. I go for Spirit Shackle, which does 33%, and he can't switch. He goes for Swords Dance here. I just go for Spirit Shackle again, 32%. So basically, he goes for Stone Edge, he hits. Kind of unfortunate, I lose Decidueye, but it's whatever. Because I can just switch into Bird Jesus here, Mega Evolve, I'll become faster, and he's locked in so he can't switch, so I can just kill this off. So I got rid of a huge threat, and he can go into Electros, which I don't know what's set at this point, and this was a pretty huge mon that I needed to scout for its set, and I need to weaken it down for Excadrill, but I U-turn here, and I go into the thing, I go into Gigalith, and I get the Sandstorm up. He goes for his Z move. He goes for the Fighting Z move. So he had that for Gigalith and or Excadrill, so he takes it out. I go into Excadrill here, figuring that at this point, Rockium Z, the Z Continental Crush would kill. It's actually a roll. It might actually just do 66, so he might have lived on 1%, but actually, Showdown lies because it's actually 1% higher than it actually is. So it's actually at 66. So if I got that max roll, I actually kill this, but I don't. I get like a low roll and do like 59, or I don't even know the roll, but I get 59%, and he goes for Superpower and takes me out. I didn't expect Superpower. I expected like Drain Punch on it, because I completely forgot this thing got Superpower. So, yeah. So Superpower takes out Excadrill. I lose Excadrill, which sucks. Here I just switch into Bird Jesus, go for the Hurricane, and at this point, he goes into this. He goes into Tapu Bulu, and I go for a Hurricane again. I take him out, and at this point, Gengar is at below half, and I know it's not Scarfed. Zoroark, I haven't seen it, and I don't know what set it is, so I have no idea what it has. If he's Scarf, he can Dark Pulse, which doesn't kill, I don't think. I don't know the calc on it. I can do the calc, I guess, real quick, but I'm not going to. But if he flinches, that would be super unfortunate. But obviously, which would suck, because I probably lose the game at that point. But turns out he's actually sashed. I didn't know it at this point, but I went for the Hurricane. and just take him out. And so I win the game with Bird Jesus. It winds up picking up 5 kills and just sweeping up the rest of his team.